This is Wave News Sunrise.
Good Friday morning. Thanks for waking up with us. It always feels good on a Friday, right? Even when you have to deal with a little sprinkles.
Yeah, and it just gives you a little bit more motivation to get into the weekend, I feel like, a little bit more so. Except for
I don't need much motivation.
Oh. I'm still like, I still have this many hours to work, and then I get to take my nap. So I'm looking forward to the nap. But a lot of people are just waking up right now. Yeah. So, I mean, hey, what we're seeing right now is a little bit of a dreary day. So you got to put some pep in your step and be your own sunshine today as we continue over the next couple of hours. We will be keeping an eye on some showers in some areas of drizzle. Seeing some of that drizzle right now showing up from near Bardstown down towards Hodgenville. Very light stuff that we're dealing with. Your temperatures are sitting in the 50s across the region, with one exception, North Vernon, currently at 48 degrees, a little bit cooler further to the north. But over the next 12 hours, going to go from those 50s into the 60s for highs. But keep in mind, the clouds are going to stick around throughout the entire day, watching for those areas of drizzle for this morning, and then a few of those isolated showers as we head into the afternoon. That's really it. So not really widespread rain in today's forecast. Now, we will see some scattered showers showing up once we roll into your Saturday, and that is something to keep in mind for if you're doing anything during the afternoon and evening hours from the Racing Louisville match for tomorrow evening, or even for those of you heading to opening night. So that's something to watch closely. For Sunday, we do keep the isolated rain chance a bit cooler, though, with highs only in the 50s for most of us. Now, as we look ahead to next week, there are a couple of systems that we have to watch closely as we get closer to Oaks and Derby Day. I'll explain in just a bit.
Picked it up, and that was his roommate letting me know that I'm not really sure about the details, but it was something along the lines of Connor called his roommate and said, I left some notes there, call my mother, I'm going to go in and shoot up Old National.
As I'm driving, then I get a call that says there's been shooting in there, multiple shots. And you go from praying for his life to praying that this is unimaginable, that he just commits suicide and doesn't hurt anyone else.
It's an interview that brings us a perspective we don't often get. The parents of the Old National Bank shooter sitting down exclusively on NBC's Today Show to talk about the tragedy and the impact on our community and country. It's nearly been 3 weeks since a gunman walked into Old National Bank in downtown Louisville and shot 13 people, killing 5 and critically wounding a police officer. In that interview on the Today Show, Lisa and Todd Sturgeon, Connor Sturgeon's parents, talked to Savannah Guthrie about how they're dealing with this. The Sturgeons say there's no justification or rationalization for what their son did. They say he was struggling mentally. He had started getting panic attacks, some anxiety, had attempted suicide, but they were involved in getting him help, and they never imagined that he would become violent.
I had no idea. And even when he was telling me that he was sort of in a crisis, we thought we had it handled. We thought it was being managed.
And, you know, well-meaning people keep saying to us, you know, you did what any, reasonable parents would have done. But Connor, in his darkest hour, needed us to be exceptional, not reasonable. And we failed him.
That shooter killed 5 people. Others were wounded, as mentioned, including LMPD officer Nicholas Wilt. He was shot in the head responding to that shooting and is still critical. The families of 4 of the victims declined to comment to the Today Show about the interview. The family of Joshua Barrick said in a statement, the father and husband did nothing to deserve this. He just went to work. It also says the fact that anyone can walk in and buy a semi-automatic weapon, its only purpose being to kill many in seconds, is simply wrong. Enough is enough. Joshua Barrick leaving behind a wife and 2 children. The Center for Interfaith Relations will have a service today to help anyone struggling with their mental health. This will be at the Cathedral of the Assumption at 3:30 this afternoon. Diverse faith leaders, city leaders, health practitioners, and others will be there providing support. Now, police responded within minutes to that shooting at Old National Bank, but not every case is like that, and there are many unsolved murders and crimes across the city. In some cases, there are a lot of witnesses witnesses, but few tips. Just days after the bank shooting, 6 people were shot in Chickasaw Park. 2 of them died. Hundreds of people were at the park at the time, but police have been begging for tips. Josh Crawford, a former prosecutor and public safety expert, says many communities, not just in Louisville, might not trust law enforcement. He says they might feel that police can't do their jobs reliably or fairly based on past interactions with officers.
And these neighborhoods very much know who the problem actors are. They want those individuals oftentimes removed from the community so that people can be safe. But if policing is done in a way where they don't have confidence that those are going to be the people who are taken out of the community and everybody else is going to be left alone to thrive, then it can create this sort of tension.
He also says when police departments make people feel safe, officers then get more cooperation and better homicide clearance rates, which that makes communities then safer. 6:04, and perhaps one of the best stories going into this year's Kentucky Derby just turned into one of the worst as long shot Wild on Ice was put down following an injury he suffered during the morning workout yesterday. Wild on Ice injured his left hind leg yesterday morning during practice. He was taken to a Lexington equine surgical facility where sadly he was euthanized. The Texas-bred horse got into the Derby field after an upset win at the Sunland Park Derby. His jockey, Ken Tohill, 60 years old. He was going to get his first mount in the Derby, and he was then going to be the oldest jockey to ever ride in the Derby. Now, Skinner, trained by Brad Cox, moves into that Kentucky Derby field. This means Louisville's Brad Cox will have 4 horses in this year's Kentucky Derby. Runners have spent months getting ready for this year's KDF Mini and Full Marathon. They're putting all that hard work to the test tomorrow. Josh Ninke is live at Freedom Hall with some last-minute help for people hitting the streets tomorrow, and this also includes Josh and his wife, Kathleen.
That's right. We are about as ready as you can be, and I guess at this point you kind of have to be. I've got Stephanie with Norton joining us here today. So for me and a lot of the runners that are getting out there tomorrow, what do we need to do to really make sure that we are set and ready to go?
Well, I think the number one tip I give to people is just lay everything out the night before. A lot of people fail to do that, and then they wake up Saturday morning and then they're scrambling and laying out everything. Yeah. Panic. Oh my gosh, where's my shorts? Where's my shoes? Where's my snacks? So literally lay out every last thing, even your breakfast items, your snacks, your water bottles and stuff. So just lay it all out, and you wake up and it's right there.
Nice. Something that is a personal thing that you like to do. I like this suggestion with the bibs. What do you recommend for that?
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me about that. So I crinkle my bib. So a lot of people have their nice new, fancy, brand new, fancy pants bibs, and they act almost as sails, or they get caught when you're running.
Yeah, that's always happened to me. I've never thought about
like this. Yeah, so I just take it and I crinkle it, give it a little bit of life, as you could say.
Yeah.
And then pin it on, and then it's a little less invasive when you're out there running.
And the last couple of big important things, toenails and Vaseline, right?
Clip your toenails. A lot of people talk about losing toenails during runs and races.
Don't want that.
Yeah. And then chafing is a thing, either in the heat or potential rain. I think we're safe this year with the rain, but chafing, put that anti-chafing ointment in the areas that you may need.
And there are quite a few of them.
There are armpits, and then kind of all of this.
Yeah, just about anywhere that you can think of. That's what you need to do.
Exactly.
For folks who come out to Packet Pickup today, I know there's also some other things that they can enjoy while they're out here.
Sure.
Yeah, what do we have going on behind us here?
So this is actually Court Physical Therapy, one of our partners.
Yeah.
They are doing some KT taping and some stretching over here.
Okay.
So any of those last-minute aches and pains, you can kind of get rid of that worry and have them touch on you there a little bit and massage with the Theragun and things. That's always a thing that people like to do right before race, because tapering week, you start to feel those random little aches and pains, and you're like, what is that? Why does my knee hurt?
I thought this was fine.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And are we going to see you out on the track?
You will.
Nice.
I am doing the Mini, and I'm actually wearing this hat in case you want to be able to find me.
Yeah.
We'll see how long it lasts. If we're going to get windy days, then it may or may not last.
You can be one of our unofficial pacers with that.
Unofficial pacer, because I'm going to be out there having a good time. So, walking, running, seeing my people, and I just want people to be able to find me and say hi.
Yeah, I love it. And if you want to say hi to her here in person, get some of the last-minute things here at Packet Pickup. Goes from 11 to 9 today out here at Freedom Hall. We've got all the stuff going on here at wave3.com if you want to find out a little bit more. And good luck to all the runners coming out here to learn those last-minute tips and tricks. Live here at Freedom Hall. Josh Ninke, Wave News.
Good luck to you too, Josh. All right. Well, of course, because of that race, there will be some road closures in the area. If you want to see that full list of road closures, just go to wave3.com. And a reminder, you can catch the Oaks and Derby and so many other events right here on Wave. We're the only local station that will be bringing you complete coverage both days from the track. 6:09 right now, and Sunrise at the Downs also will kick off next week. Tawana and I and the rest of the morning team, we're all going to be live on the backside of Churchill Downs starting on Monday, 5 a.m. We hope you'll be joining us. 6:09, here's Tawana.
And we're going to be adding Brian Good to the mix, too, so you know that's going to be an interesting bunch of people. For those of you heading out today, we're keeping an eye on those clouds overhead throughout the day as we warm into the 60s. Some drizzle, some isolated rain chances here and there throughout the day as we do our best to warm up. So a little bit more of a dreary and cooler day showing up in the forecast. And looking at the roads, everything is clear yet again after we dealt with that crash earlier this morning. So that is also some good news there. I'll talk about what we're looking at for the end of next week. And right now, not looking too bad. I'll explain in just a bit.
Okay, I'm liking the sound of that. Well, sadly, the rush hour balloon race today had to be canceled because of the rain and the low cloud ceiling. However, we still have a lot of other balloon events to talk about. Olivia Russell joining us live next.
This is Wave News Sunrise.
Unfortunately, this morning's rush hour balloon race was canceled because of the weather. However, other Derby Festival balloon events will still go on as scheduled. Wave News reporter Olivia Russell got to check out some of those balloons for us yesterday, and tonight is the Balloon Glow. Olivia.
Yeah, Shannon, at least we have the Balloon Glow and tomorrow's balloon race still happening. But I know those pilots pay close attention to the forecast. They're keeping an eye on the rain, the winds, and the cloud coverage. And unfortunately, that rush hour race had to be canceled this morning. But again, tonight you can still see them at the Balloon Glow. Check out those balloons up close and personal because they're usually thousands of feet up in the air. Then tomorrow's great balloon race still scheduled for 7 a.m. at Bowman Field. They tell me it's a hare and hound race. So to kind of explain that to you, one balloon will take off, then it will land and drop an X to mark the spot. Then the other balloons will try to follow it. They drop a little weighted baggie from the basket. They try to land it as close to the X as possible. They tell me they can get within inches of that X. It's really impressive there. They all have their techniques with how they want to throw that baggie. But yesterday, they explained to me how important the weather can be every time they go up in a balloon.
Before we take off, we take a balloon and we fill it with helium and we let it go. It's called a pi ball, a pilot ball. And we watch it go up and it will tell us what directions the wind goes as it rises. So we try to remember that, try to calculate how many feet per minute it goes up and what the winds are doing, what altitude it's doing when the winds change, and then try to grab that wind to take us to the target.
Yeah, so kind of complicated stuff there, but they tell me, hey, after you've been doing it for so long, you get used to it. And they told me it's also a combination of skill, luck, and then Mother Nature just being on your side, too. But it's happening tomorrow at 7 a.m. at Bowman Field. And don't forget about the Balloon Glow happening tonight at Festivale at Waterfront Park. You will need a Pegasus pin to get in, but it is just so exciting. That's happening tonight at 9 o'clock. Reporting live at Waterfront Park, Olivia Russell, Wave News.
Yeah, the Balloon Glow is gorgeous. Olivia, thanks. Tawana is out in the weather garden right now. So has the drizzle stopped?
Yeah, we're good in terms of the drizzle here, but some parts of Wave Country still dealing with it. Shannon, you know I would have an umbrella up to protect my hair if there was some drizzle going on. But yeah, things are quiet and calm here in the Wave weather garden. The birds, though, those are pretty loud, so you'll probably hear those throughout the forecast. Your temperatures right now on the mild side, currently 55 degrees here in the weather garden, but a lot of you are a little bit cooler than that, seeing more of those low 50s for those of you further to the north of Louisville, but some mid to upper 50s further to the south. So we are dealing with the clouds, some of those areas of drizzle, especially right along the parkways. That's where most of that drizzle is right now. As we continue over the next 12 hours, going to be watching for some of that rain pushing in from the south and southwest, mainly for those of you south of the parkways. That is where we'll see some of those spotty showers for this morning. As we head into the afternoon, I cannot not rule out an isolated rain chance for those of you further to the east of 65 as we warm up into the 60s, but overall most of us should be A-OK for the second half of the day as the clouds start to break up a little bit more across the region. So that does bode well for the great balloon glow later on this evening. We should be seeing temperatures falling through the 50s, dry conditions, just some clouds overhead, and that is it. But with those clearing skies that we're seeing in the forecast, we do have to keep an eye on some patchy fog possible as we get towards around 6, 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Not everyone will see it, but that chance is certainly there, especially in those spots that have the lighter wind, the clearer skies, and that residual moisture from basically the rain that we saw overnight and some of that rain that we may see today. Now, as we continue throughout your Saturday, watching the clouds increasing through the morning, temperatures warming up into the upper 60s for highs for tomorrow afternoon. Some spotty showers moving in, especially after about 3, 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, keeping those around through the evening, and then we'll dry out eventually as we approach midnight. So even going to be keeping an eye on that. A few showers possible even into portions of your Sunday as you watch the clouds taking over yet again, and we'll be watching for that chance of rain, yep, as we head into the afternoon with temperatures stuck in the 50s for most of us. So we'll be watching for those spotty showers, unfortunately, during the Pegasus Parade tomorrow. But overall, things are looking pretty light in terms of that rain chance. So we'll keep an eye on the rain chance. Don't be surprised if that goes up for Sunday. Temperatures sitting in the 50s for the Pegasus Parade, and that wind will be key with some of those gusts near 30 miles per hour. Now, for the end of next week, we're getting closer to Thurby, Oaks, and Derby. And, of course, the weather, a big portion of all of that. And right now, trends are keeping us on the drier side for the end of next week, and that is something that we're watching very closely. In fact, there's one model run that I'm watching coming in right now, and we'll have to keep an eye on that closely. So as we head into portions of your Thursday, there is a chance for a little bit of that rain, and even in the portions of Saturday night, we're going to be watching for some rain chances. But overall, right now, we're going to be keeping everything on the drier side as we head into the end of next week. And with that, that will allow our temperatures to be a little bit warmer. So that is why we'll see some of those upper 60s, low 70s in the forecast for highs towards Thurby, Oaks, and Derby. Remember, we're still a ways out, so this forecast can change depending on how much of that moisture we can get into our area. If the wind shifts a little bit more and becomes more southerly and we get that moisture in from the Gulf, that means our rain chance is going to go up. If we see more of that wind coming in from towards Texas, then that means our rain chances for the end of next week are going to stay low. So this is one of those situations that we definitely want a little bit more of that wind coming in from the Texas area. Of course, we'll be keeping an eye on that and the drizzle, of course, over the next couple of hours and as we head into the afternoon, but have that Wave weather app downloaded for the rain chances that we'll see for the weekend. Shannon.
For sure. All right. Thank you, Tawana. A new coffee shop is now open in Louisville's Russell neighborhood. It is called Black Coffee. It's on West Jefferson Street near 12. The shop owners say they wanted to create a space for people to hang out where they can do work and, of course, enjoy coffee. It is run by Roniel Smith and Janetta Roberts.
As an entrepreneur myself, I needed somewhere where I could have coffee, take a meeting, use the internet, and it just didn't exist. So it was a lifelong dream to put a space like this west of 9th Street.
They'll also, in addition to coffee, they'll also have some breakfast food, sandwiches, soups, salads, pastries. So check it out. Baptist Health, raising awareness for the importance of life-saving medical care, the work they're doing, and how you can get involved ahead.
Here's a look at the current Kentucky Lottery jackpots. The Kentucky Lottery, over $4.4 billion in grants and scholarships.
Oh, this is so cute. Before the Pegasus Parade marches down Broadway on Sunday, a daycare in downtown Louisville held a parade of their own. Look how cute he is. Oh, my gosh. So Bright Horizons Daycare had their own Derby parade down Theater Square on 4th Street yesterday. Past the daycare and Scion Health, kids made their own costumes and hats, and a lot of people dressed up for the occasion. It was about getting people and kids into the Derby spirit.
I did not grow up in Louisville, but grew up in Kentucky, and obviously Derby Festival is so special. And it's so fun now having kids, getting to share that Derby Festival with our kids.
This is our first Derby parade since 2019 when the pandemic hit, so we're really excited to have everybody come out.
Absolutely. And what's a Derby celebration without a chow wagon? So after the parade, families got to enjoy some food, which included a barbecue and watermelon. awesome. Oh my goodness, those kids were adorable. It is so fun, you know, for children to learn all about the history of the Derby, right?
Yeah, I love it. And for our director, Matt, I already requested that he get a cute little jockey outfit for his baby. I feel like that would be so cute. So for those of you who also dress up your kids, please send us the pictures. We love them. And then for those of you heading out today, we're watching for those clouds overhead, a chance for a few of those isolated showers at times for this morning, a little bit drier as we head into the afternoon. That is the trends are now showing. As we get into your Saturday, some scattered showers around, mainly for the afternoon and evening. A few spotty showers possible on Sunday. Windy and cool on Monday. And then we'll gradually warm up as we head towards the end of next week, keeping a close eye on those rain chances. But for right now, they're looking pretty low.
All right, good. Baptist held hard on making sure people know how important it is to sign up to be an organ donor and a blood donor. They held a flag raising as National Donate Life Month comes to a close. People at the hospital say it's important to know those who choose organ donation help touch the lives of people they help, whether that's through participating in blood drives or donating in other ways. You can sign up to be a donor on donatelife.net. Baptist Health serves about 400,000 patients across 10 Kentucky counties. Well, May is going to be starting soon, and today, Kentucky's Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman will declare the month of May as Mental Health Month in the state. This will be around noon today at the Capitol. Coleman will join Mental Health America of Kentucky for that declaration. Governor Andy Beshear reported yesterday since launching, Kentucky-based calls have increased by 23% to that 988 number. He says making mental health a priority is important. Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg giving his vision of Louisville's annual budget to the Metro Council last night. How he says he plans to tackle the gun violence issue. Coming up this morning on Sunrise.
This is Wave News Sunrise.
Good Friday morning. It is 6:30. Maybe you're going to be heading out here later on today. The Chow Wagon is now open, and lots of good corn dogs and a lot of good food. My stomach has been growling nonstop.
It has. I've heard it from across the room.
So loud. I need to get some food.
We need to get you some food as soon as possible. So how about I just run and talk about the weather so you can get some food? How's that? So for those of you heading out right now, we're keeping an eye on the skies. And this is what it looks like as we're trying to get towards downtown Louisville. Check out those low clouds this morning. This is part of the reason why the morning balloon race has been canceled, because of those low clouds that we are seeing across the region right now. And of course, we have to keep an eye on some areas of drizzle as well for this morning. So here's what we're seeing on our satellite and radar. Plenty of clouds and some of that drizzle showing up as most of us are sitting in the 50s for your current temperatures. And as we head throughout the day today, going to warm into the 60s, watching for some areas of drizzle and a couple of spotty showers, especially south of the parkways. It looks like this morning there's a batch of thunderstorms. They're pushing up from Tennessee, and they're looking to hold together as they move into parts of Adair County, Greene County, Taylor County. So we'll have to watch for that for this morning. And as we head into the weekend, watching for some scattered showers, especially for the second half of your Saturday and Sunday. Some isolated rain chances in the forecast, and we're keeping an eye to see how much of that moisture we can tap into on Sunday, because that will dictate how much of that rain we see around. Now, for those of you heading to the Racing Louisville game, come tomorrow evening. Keep in mind, we're going to be talking about OL rain coming into town, and we're going to be seeing some scattered showers possible throughout that match. The whole match doesn't look to be a complete washout, but make sure you have that rain gear ready to go. Racing fans, Blue City fans know what the deal is with that. And also keep an eye on the big board. You may see somebody pretty familiar giving a forecast there come tomorrow.
All right. Thank you. The latest shooting in Louisville happened on Arbor Meadow Way last night. LMPD called to that scene about 9:30. Officers say the shooting followed some type of incident with family members. The man was taken to T-ville Hospital. An update on his condition has not been released, but LMPD says all parties connected to the shooting have been accounted for. They have not said if anyone's been arrested. More Kentucky communities are getting money to fight the opioid epidemic. The Kentucky Opioid Abatement Advisory Commission awarded more than $8 million to 24 addiction recovery organizations. The money comes from Kentucky's portion of a $26 billion settlement with opioid companies for their role in ending the deadly opioid crisis.
When you look at and survey the organizations that are here, they have all been resourced to meet those acute needs based on the collective feedback that we received from thousands. We aim to be responsive to what the people of this state expect of us, and I think we are off to a good start.
State leaders say they plan to announce the next round of funding sometime this fall. Mayor Craig Greenberg proposed his first city budget to members of the Metro Council. The $1.1 billion budget includes funding to expand the group violence intervention program and 911 deflection programs. These are moves the mayor hopes will reduce gun violence. Mayor Greenberg also plans to invest into re-entry assistance programs, extending Metro Parks and Community Center hours into evenings and weekends, and investing $222 million into LMPD. That includes hiring more homicide detectives, money for new police cruisers and protective gear, and more cameras at parks and other areas around the city. He says these are necessary to create change.
We have to do more to prevent crimes from happening in the first place. That's why my budget elevates the existing violence prevention work and establishes and expands the Department of Group Violence Intervention.
The plan is to also invest into the expansion of the deflection program to focus on mental health and divert 911 calls to social workers. Tomorrow marks the Kentucky Derby Festival's 50th mini marathon, a huge year, so they're pulling out all the stops this year. Josh Ninke is live at Freedom Hall, and this is where people can go to get those packets, because you can't get that packet tomorrow on race day.
Exactly right, Shannon. You got to come and get this today, otherwise you are just out of luck tomorrow. We've got Katina with GE Appliances, the title sponsor, joining us here this morning. So when folks come out here, what all can they get from you guys?
So you can get a lot from us. So we are excited to celebrate 70 years of Appliance Park this year at GE Appliances. And so employees from GE Appliances have been part of the marathon from its very beginning. So we think about we're celebrating 70 and the marathon celebrating 50. And so to highlight some of the appliances that are made right here in Louisville, Kentucky, then we're inviting people to play games with us.
Oh, I love that.
So so we have bean bags here, and so like you can, when you come pick up your packet, play bean bags. We have some Tide from our partners at Procter & Gamble. But more importantly, we have some GEA branded running socks.
Oh, these are cool. Let's get a closer look at that. I love that.
Those?
And running socks, very important on race day.
They are very important on race day, but even more important is the opportunity to, you can kick a soccer ball, and if you get the soccer ball into one of our laundry units, you get a chance to win one of our laundry units.
And these are some beautiful looking laundry units you guys have here.
This is what we call it, and so so this is for runners, right? So it's super important because these are OxyFresh, and so after you run 13 miles, but definitely 26 miles, you definitely want to just pop those right there into the laundry equipment, and it gets it all nice and clean, and it sanitizes it, and then refreshes it. And again, these are all appliances that are made right here in Louisville, Kentucky.
I love that. So let's go on this backside here and see if I can try to kick into one of these laundry units that you're talking about here.
Absolutely.
Going to warn everybody, I am not a soccer player. I don't remember the last time I kicked a soccer ball. So Corey, our photographer here, I'm going to tell him to look out because I don't know if this is going to hit him or not. So all right, there we go. Perfect. All right, you ready?
We'll both stand back.
And in 3, 2, 1.
Almost.
Hey,
keep going.
I got it straight on. I'll take we get one more shot. One more shot here. All right. No, that was even worse. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. So you guys are going to be out here throughout all the packet pickup. Remind me the hours of that if you got that off the top of your head.
So today we open at 11 o'clock, and then I believe it runs until 9 this evening. And so we'll have employees from GE Appliances, Appliance Park, who will be here to welcome people home to Louisville and to our community to race for the Kentucky Derby Marathon tomorrow.
Should be a wonderful time. Come out and make sure you get here today, because like I mentioned, you can't pick up your packets tomorrow on race day. Live here at Freedom Hall, Josh Ninke, Wave News.
Are they letting you pick up your packet early?
Yes, conveniently. Knocking it out right now.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. Good luck to you tomorrow, Josh. All right. When you watch the race at Churchill Downs, of course, you see the trainer and jockey celebrating in the winner's circle. But there are so many people who work on the backside of Churchill Downs, and that's why the Backside Learning Center is so important. They help all of those people on the backside. Of the 600 people who work on the backside, more than 500 do not speak English. That's why the Backside Learning Center helps so many people. They offer English classes. They help kids get enrolled in school. They help with health and social services, housing, or legal advocacy. The Learning Center says it's important to build up their trust.
They know that they are not alone, that they can come here and they know that they're going to they're going to feel welcome, and that we're going to try to provide the best advice or resources available for them.
The Backside Learning Center also offers support year-round. All right, voting ends on Sunday. So once again, a quick reminder here, please vote on what Tawana and I should wear on Derby Day. Do you like the option A on the left or option B on the right? This is our annual contest with Rhodes for him and for her. And when you vote, which thank you so much for voting, you'll be entered into a contest to win a $1,000 gift card to Rhodes for him and for her. So how do you vote? Just go to wave3.com, go to the contest page. And here is Tawana. She was screaming at the TV, telling Josh, kick with the side of your foot. He was not.
Can you tell he used to play soccer? I was like, I'm so scared. He was kicking with his toes. I'm like, don't hurt yourself. And by the way, with that outfit choice, remember, potential 60s for highs and 40s in the morning when you make your choices.
All right, no, we have a wrap. I'll have a wrap.
Yes, you will have a wrap, so keep that in mind. For those of you heading out today, though, with your outfit choices, keep in mind we're going to keep those clouds overhead. Isolated rain chances in the forecast. The roads are clear right now, so that is certainly some good news as you're heading out. Now, as you look ahead, things are looking pretty decent for Oaks and Derby Day. I'll explain why in just a bit.
For the fourth time, professional bull riders will unleash the beast into KFC Yum Center. It's for the invitational competition. It kicks off this weekend. Joining us this morning is Eli Vastbinder. He was the 2021 PBR Rookie of the Year. Is that where you won that big belt?
Yeah, this one is. That's
actually gorgeous, actually. Yeah. So how you got started in this because you grew up with a family and everyone rode bulls?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. You know, everybody played a role in the rodeo somehow, and I had some cousins. They all rode bulls, and my older brother, tried it there for a little while, and yeah, so I just kind of grew up in it. You know, when everybody else's parents were taking their kids to soccer games and footballs, mine were taking me to rodeos, and so it's just kind of the way we grew up.
Wow, isn't that terrifying? Getting on a bull?
You know, we've done it for so long now that it's just kind of our job. It's second nature, and it's just kind of like you coming here, we go to the bull riding and we compete.
Yeah, this is your full-time job, and you get paid by winning competitions like this. Wow, that is, I mean, isn't your back? Does your back hurt you constantly? Or what?
You're asking on the wrong day, because it does hurt today. But not every day. So.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so how are you scored on this?
Yeah, so everybody's going to ride 8 seconds, and then these bulls are in competition as well. These guys raise these bulls just like the racehorses, the bloodlines and the pedigree, and now it's gotten to where, you know, it's a big deal to own one of these bulls, and it's a lot of money, and so it's a luck of the draw, and you'll get randomly selected to get on a bull, and it's
so you don't know which bull you'll get on?
No, ma'am. It's just luck of the draw, and you'll ride for 8 seconds, hopefully, and at the end of the 8 seconds, they'll mark you on how hard the bull bucks, how high he jumped, how fast he spun, and then how well you rode the bull and how much control you were in. So the harder the bull, the better you ride, the higher the score.
I'm just astonished by this. Yeah. Wow. I mean, and then after you fall off, you've got to just get away as fast as possible, right?
Yeah, you've got to get off it somehow, so, you know, at some point in time. So, you know, it's, yeah, you just try to get off and get away as clean and safe as you can.
Just amazing. So how many people will be competing?
The top 35 guys in the world against the top 35 best bulls in the world.
That's awesome. And you could win $40,000, you said, at this big competition.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is a fun thing for families to do, because it's not every day you get to watch people ride bulls.
Yeah, there's something for everybody. You know, it's kind of like a rock show, rock star, rock concert. You know, we've got Flint Rasmussen, the clown. This will be his final year, and he's a legend in our sport. And so, yeah, there's something for everybody.
Terrific. Well, I wish you, Eli, the very best luck tomorrow.
I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
He was limping a little bit when we first met, and I thought, oh my goodness, that was obviously a bull riding accident too.
It was.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Brave. All right. Tawana, would you ever do that?
No.
Me either.
Definitely not. All power to him, though. All power to Eli doing that. That's absolutely amazing. I could never. For those of you heading out this morning, keeping an eye on Spaghetti Junction, where things are rolling smoothly, but looking a little bit dreary as we have the clouds overhead, that drizzle coming down for so many of us. I'll talk about what the rest of the day is going to look like and what we're looking at as we head into next week in just 30 seconds. Meteorologist Tawana Andrew here with a check of your forecast. And for today, we're still having this area of low pressure sitting over us right now. Plenty of clouds and some showers and thunderstorms now pushing up from portions of Tennessee into parts of Kentucky. So we're going to keep an eye on that as it moves into areas further to the south as expected. So for those of you south of the parkways, you are dealing with a little bit of some drizzle from Greene County up towards Springfield, but that heavier rain is now pushing back into portions of Adair County. You're going to see that clipping portions of Greene and Taylor County as well as it moves off to the north and northeast, trying to look towards Churchill Downs right now. And this has been one of the more difficult shots to get this morning because of that haze, the drizzle, the low clouds that we're dealing with across portions of the metro and actually a good chunk of wave country right now. Your temperatures are mainly in the 50s across wave country with a couple of upper 40s for those of you in southern Indiana. As we continue throughout the morning, going to be watching for those scattered showers and even one or two thunderstorms clipping our southernmost counties. And as we get into the afternoon, the trends show drier conditions for everyone. I cannot rule out an isolated shower or two, but at least the afternoon is looking drier now with temperatures trying to rebound into the 60s. And for tonight, the clouds will clear. That will allow our temperatures to fall down into the 40s across our region. And with those clearer skies, some of that moisture still left over from the rain and light winds, all of that will work together to bring that potential for some patchy fog across parts of wave country. It looks like our southernmost counties do have the better chance to see that as we head into tomorrow morning, but it will not last very long. Once we approach 9, 10 o'clock, a lot of that will be long gone. Now, as we continue throughout your Saturday morning, we'll watch clouds increasing yet again and our next chance of rain. Tomorrow, pretty warm, climbing to near 70 for a high, and we'll watch for some spotty showers moving in for your Saturday afternoon into the evening. So not a washout by any regard, but we do have to keep an eye on those shower chances since there are just so many events happening for the second half of your Saturday, including opening night. So we'll be watching closely for those rain chances around, pretty scattered as temperatures fall through the 60s into the 50s. Now for your Sunday, looking a little bit breezy and definitely cooler across wave country as a lot of us will be stuck in the 50s for our highs. We'll watch for some more of those spotty showers moving in for your Sunday afternoon as the wind increases. So through the afternoon hours, we'll watch for a few of those isolated showers showing up in the forecast. This is something to keep in mind if you're going to be heading to the Pegasus Parade, which will be there, Shannon and I, and we'll see those temperatures sitting in the 50s for that. But actually, we could see some stronger wind gusts near 30 miles per hour as some of these showers move through. So for a lot of us, it may feel like the 40s. Getting into Monday and Tuesday, breezy for both days. Pretty cool on Monday with highs mainly in the low to mid 50s, and that's it. Once we get into Tuesday, jumping back into the upper 50s and low 60s, not too bad. As we get towards the end of next week, things are improving a little bit more in terms of that potential for drier weather. So this particular model is showing dry weather for Thurby, Oaks, and Derby, but some of those models are showing that potential for some rain once we get into Saturday night, and also the chance for rain. One particular model is showing for Thursday night to Friday morning. So there's still some questions about the rain chances there. I'm not going to completely take them out of the forecast just yet, but things are trending generally on the warm side with some upper 60s and low 70s for highs, but those morning temperatures will be in the 40s across wave country. So at least that part of the forecast keeping cool across wave country.
All right. Hopefully those inflatables will be okay for the parade.
Yeah, we'll be watching it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, unfortunately, because of the weather, the low cloud ceiling, the balloon race that was supposed to take place this morning had to be canceled. However, they're still scheduled to light up Waterfront Park tomorrow and hopefully race tomorrow. Olivia Russell is at Waterfront Park this morning, and you got to talk to some of those pilots.
Yeah, Shannon, it was a really cool experience because just one balloon is cool enough, but seeing a bunch of them is incredible, and you can't imagine how big they are when you see them up close and in person. But good news tonight, that balloon glow is still going on as scheduled. Balloons, such a long-standing tradition for the Kentucky Derby Festival. The first balloon race was actually held back in 1973. Since then, the Derby Festival's balloon events have been considered among the best in the country by pilots from all around the world. And I talked to some yesterday. They said the balloon events even have a history of bringing in future pilots because they said you just get hooked on it.
Well, there's no other type of aviation like it. It's, you and I we can get off the ground right now with just a little bit. A few more of those and we're flying.
It's some really cool stuff, and I'll tell you, it's really nice and warm and comfortable when they do that. But hey, if you're interested, they said some of the pilots even said they are always looking for new crew members, so you might actually have your chance to get involved in ballooning if you just come to the Balloon Glow. You can check out those balloons up close and personal tonight at the Festiville. That's at 9 o'clock for the Balloon Glow, and then tomorrow they're scheduled to take off from Bowman Field at 7 a.m. for the balloon race. Reporting live from Waterfront Park, Olivia Russell, Wave News. More Sunrise right after the break.
Dawn at the Downs continues this morning. You can go out to watch the nation's top 3-year-old thoroughbreds train before this year's Kentucky Oaks and Derby. Churchill Downs will let you in free of charge from 7 to 10 a.m. The horses train on the main track from 5:15 to 10 a.m. And there's an exclusive training window just for the Derby and Oaks contenders. That's from 7:30 to 7:45 a.m. following the 7 to 7:30 renovation break. So if you're heading out there, you go through the paddock gate. You can park for free in the orange or green lots. Just enter at Racine Avenue, and you'll be directed to sections 115 through 117 to watch those morning workouts. So fun. And the Pegasus Parade has a fitting way to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Secretariat's incredible Triple Crown win. Secretariat looked like he was flying when he ran, like a Pegasus. So Secretariat's been named the Grand Marshal of the Festival Parade, and a bronze monument of Secretariat in full stride will make its debut at the parade on Sunday, and it'll be accompanied by Kate Chenery Tweedy and Sarah Manning. They are the daughters of Penny Chenery, who you just saw cheering there after Secretariat's win. And a reminder, you can watch that parade right here on Wave. We'll be bringing you full coverage of the floats and festivities starting at 3 p.m. And yeah, Tawana, every time this music plays, you start dancing.
I can't help it. It's good.
It is good music. All right, so you and I are in that parade on Sunday.
Yes, and I'm just going to tell you right now, wear a hat. I'm just going to let you know.
Like a winter hat?
Like protect your hair.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going to keep an eye on spotty showers. But this is what it looks like right now in Starlight, Indiana. Some kind of dreary conditions that we're seeing right now as we are dealing with some low visibility in some spots. So keep that in mind. And a few of those showers pushing through the area right now, especially for those of you further to the south of the parkways. Your temperatures are in the 50s at the moment, but we will climb into the 60s for later on this afternoon. So keep that in mind. And your 10-day does show some spotty showers over the weekend, not a complete washout, and things going to be warming up as we head into next week. But next Monday, that's looking a little bit chilly and windy.
All right. that music makes me want to like salsa.
Same.
Yeah?
I love it.
All right. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.
Get live streaming news, 24-hour weather, investigations, podcasts, and more. All for free with Wave Now. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and the Wave News app.